Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome, a most sincere welcome to this inaugural show of the Enlightenment Evolution Network. It's called About Oneness, and I am your host, Karen Neumann. And I would like to welcome, before I do anything, my co-host, Philip Malika, the amazing Philip Malika. Are you there? You're there.
Thank you so much. How sweet. You know, you have such a lovely voice, and I love your intro. That's such a beautiful song, and you only hear a piece of it there, but I was reminded as it was playing what a beautiful little ditty that is. And you have such a great air presence. God, I'm excited to be here today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for bringing me on.
Thank you. That song I wrote it in 2007, and it was one of those songs I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it, you know? And so it's been
a solution looking for a problem.
Exactly. And so when the show came along, I said, I have the perfect song. And I called up a friend of mine who is known as Mr. Boogie Woogie. He's a boogie woogie piano player, and he has an in-home studio, and he's actually playing the guitar and bass on that. So that was a big thing for him to play a different instrument. But we re-recorded the song for the intro, and it came out really well. So
good.
Thank you, Mr. Boogie Woogie, for that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So here we are.
Welcome to the air. Welcome to Enlightenment Evolution Network, Karen.
Thank you so very much. I'm so happy to be here. And this show today is going to really be a meet and greet and a hello to everyone who's listening, so I can get to know the audience and they can get to know me a little bit. And then we'll talk about how the show's going to go, the different themes of the different shows, and we'll just take it from there. How's that sound?
Oh, it sounds like a fantastic plan. I'm so glad to be a part of it.
I'm so glad you're I want to just say how I met Phil. It was very serendipitous. I guess that's the best way to say.
Shifty, man.
It was very shifty.
Shifty.
We were in a Abraham Hicks chat group, I believe, together on Facebook. And we started, there was some subject that came up, and you and I were in total agreement. And I think from there, you were just starting Consciousness group.
Yeah.
And you added me. And then then we chatted over the last several years, and slowly we've gotten to know each other and learn what each other was about. And then when this came up, it was just in the perfect moment. So Kismet. Yeah, exactly. So I'm so pleased for that. So thank you so very much for being my friend and encouraging me and everything else. So
my pleasure. Couldn't be happier.
And also I would like to say something. This Enlightenment Evolution Network is an amazing event in the history of the world. This is truly how do you say it? It's the best metaphysical radio network ever, as we say. And it's 7 days a week with shows that will blow your mind. Every host on every day brings something new and exciting to the table, and I'm really proud to be part of it. And I'm so proud that Rob Gaither has let me be included in this network. So shout out to Rob,
Absolutely.
The king,
yes,
as he's known.
And you know, it's been brought to my attention, and of course, it's sometimes I feel like I'm very isolated in my thinking. It's like, okay, well, everyone thinks like this. Well, no. And one of the hallmarks of this network that Rob put together for us and brought us in on is that nobody is out there doing what we're doing on this network. There are people that are playing around in some of the 3D areas, with the UFO and the ET thing and some of the love and light stuff. And it's like, and I don't mean to say
Love
we're
and
not
light
better.
stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean it's all good. You're right, it's all good. But there's a place for that, and then there's a place for what we're doing, and we're really taking this to the next level. We're creating the new ideas and concepts, and we're bringing that into the conscious awareness. And I think that's what's most exciting to me about being a part of this.
Well, I agree with you. I think what's interesting is that we've had, it started, I mean, for me as a child and for everybody in different ways, but you have so many teachers that have, paved the way, and we're all a product of those teachings. And we have all just, people are just coming into their own. But I just think as a society and as the human experience, people are really coming into their own with spirituality. It's not something that you just hear about. I mean, if you think about the actress, what was her name, that did the Shirley MacLaine, Out on a Limb.
Right. Yeah.
That was groundbreaking. That was in the early.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal.
Yes,
People were talking about it like that. She's crazy, and she was having all these experiences. But it's people like her that really paved the way and opened up the entire civilization. I guess all the human beings walking around, everyone started opening up, and now we're 30 years on, and it's just a different world when it comes to spirituality and the things people know. Everyone is their own guru now. I mean, you don't have to listen to anyone. You really only have to listen to yourself to find your way. And it's an amazing, amazing time to be alive and to be awakening. So bravo for all of us for showing up.
Absolutely. And isn't it interesting how it has transformed itself from being where everyone was following somebody else, and then you had the teachers like Seth who would just keep sending us back to ourselves and sending us back to ourselves. Abraham, Bashar, all of these teachers who were completely in a completely different space as far as, here, I'm going to give you some places to look, but you're the one that has to do the looking because it's all within you. And that's really been the big transformation over the last 10 years, is moving away from this idea of the guru, the teacher, the master, and realizing that we are all the masters, that we are doing this for ourselves, and that's the only way it can be.
Well, in Hinduism, that's basically always been the message, but there's been a permeation into the West that has taken, about 80 years. And I'm going to actually have a guest on the show on the 3rd of August. His name is Philip also, and Philip Goldberg, and he wrote a book called American Veda, and it's the entire history of how Hinduism has affected the West. From the first time that we even heard the word meditation was really only in the 60s.
Yeah. Right.
So think of how far we've come. And I think you and I had said it before, but it's really true, that the hippies, they knew what they were talking about,
They had it right.
They got it right. Yeah. And I was fortunate enough to do the national tour, the 25th anniversary at that time of the show Hair. I traveled all around the country. But that show affects you, and that's what it was. Peace, love, freedom, happiness. It was all the things that they were dreaming about, and we're still dreaming about it. But now we have a better path to get there.
Absolutely, yeah. So. And there's so much cooperation now between the teachers and all of the energies, as we're bringing in our own aspects of these energies from non-physical, and our guides and our higher selves, they're all in such agreement on such basic terms that we're getting a very consistent message across the board. And again, there are a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and all those spaces are fine and they're necessary, especially for people that are just coming along or just awakening. And it's as you and I were saying earlier. So now, there are, we're filling a different role now. We're taking on a role of continuing to create the new, and there are people to fill what were our old roles. Well, I'm kind of new to this, so I wasn't really in that space, but there are people to fill in those roles of being the teachers who are bringing along the people who are just awakening, and then you get people like us who are kind of pushing into new territory all the time, and that's really a beautiful juxtaposition of the two basic ideas of teaching. And so they're both very necessary, but I'm so pleased to be in the role that we have stepped into.
Well, I'll just say this: everyone is exactly where they need to be.
Exactly.
So, I dedicate my show and my life and everything to my God, and this is just an agreement for service, and I'm so pleased that I can be, if possible, used in that way. The only message that really is important is that we stop seeing, separation, and we really start to realize that's what this show is. It's about the oneness. It's about knowing that we are truly connected, and we still talk about the ideal of oneness, but there will come a point when we just know it.
Yes.
And that's my journey as well, to just know it. And talking about it is a step towards getting there and becoming aware. Awareness is first and knowing is second. And so right now we're all coming into the awareness, and hopefully we will all soon move into the knowing. And that's the part that I want to play in that, is just share my journey and hold hands with everybody as we step forward. I want to know everybody is really an extension of me. I don't want to just have the idea that they are, but I want to incorporate that. So it's very humbling to have the opportunity to just share the love,
And what an amazing journey you've had. I'm hoping that you'll bring some of that in here, because you really over the last 30 years, as you've moved through this, you've had an incredible experiences. And of course, we all have to varying extents. But when I look back on mine, and I really just awakened 5 years ago, but when I look back on mine and then seeing my accepted one-line history, how that has led me perfectly to where I need to be and where I am today. So that's very, very, very affirming to me.
Everyone, like I said, is exactly where they need to be, and someone in the chat is saying, a dream master is saying, don't everyone. You can't discount anyone. I 100% agree. I don't really want to use terminology now to say they or what.
In any separation.
No, because it's, we've been talking about 3D, 5D, and there's no difference in the connection that we have with people. So we're all just one. We're all just one. And so
absolutely.
That's the thing.
And if I gave any indication,
no, you didn't. No, I was just answering his question, because I can see it. So it's nice that he's participating.
Very
yeah.
nice.
I will tell you a little bit about myself, if I can, just because my journey did start a long time ago, and I'm sure many people did, but mine started when I was basically when I could talk. I have memory of just really wanting to know God and know my connection to God, and that's been my greatest focus of my life, my entire life, which is different than a lot of people who come into spirituality later. And that's just a difference. It's not, it's not good or bad. But for me, it's always been about wanting to know God. And I've gone down many roads, and I've turned over many leaves and turned over many stones. Not that I thought that I would find God there, because I always felt like I had God. I just wanted to know as much as possible. So I walked down as many paths that I could find. But it really started when I was young. And I remember we were living in Maryland, so I had to be less than 10, but I know I was older than 5. It was probably 7 that I started actually hearing God talking to me.
Nice.
Back, what I believe to be God. Let's just say it like that,
Yes.
because it's turned out now that I find that it's my guides, and my guides are an extension of me, my higher self, and I'm God, so okay. But at the time, I was really talking, and I was hearing, responses, and they were always loving, and they were always encouraging, and I remember saying, how do I know you? How do I know God? How can I know the truth? This is what I was asking. And I could read at the time, so I had to be 7. And I opened up a big Bible that we had in our house, and I opened it up, and the voice in my head just said, open to the first page that you can find and read what you see. And so that's what I did. I opened this big Bible, and it was a big one, one of those big holiday Bibles they used to have. And I looked down, and the verse was 1 John 4:20, and it said, if a man says he loves God but hates his neighbor, he is a liar. For how can he love God that he has not seen, but hate his neighbor that he has seen? And then I heard in my head, that's all you need to know. Ask yourself always, is this love? And so that's what I've done my whole life. I've tried to measure everything by, is this love? And if it wasn't love, I knew it wasn't God. And sort of selfishly, I've always thought, okay, if the journey to God is love, then that's the journey I want to be on.
Interesting. Can I share something with you?
Yeah, of course.
That brought up a memory for me, and I was just talking about this last night with Tamara here, and I was remembering that in 3rd grade, I was in Catholic school up until 5th grade, and of all of the teachers that I had, nuns, priests, whatever, we had lay teachers, what they called lay teachers, which were members of the community that would come in and teach at the school. And we actually had a religious teacher, and her name was Mrs. Lease. And Mrs. Lease, wherever you are, I love you. You are amazing.
Oh, nice.
But she was the one teacher out of all of the religious teachers that I had that really spoke to me. And this was in 3rd grade. And the reason I mention this, because you came into awareness at about the same time, it sounds like. But the awareness that she brought to me is that no matter what else is in the Bible, no matter what else is being taught, that the basic message is, and we were learning about Jesus, was love. And so that was my whole takeaway. I can't tell you anything else from any of those religious teachings except that my takeaway was, you know what? Jesus was love. Love is the important thing. All of the rest of it doesn't matter. And I love how, even though I had no other awareness at that time of anything spiritual, that was my takeaway from all of that.
Well, that's the only thing you really need to know, because everything else dictates from that. If your vantage point is love, then you see everything through those eyes. And what else do you need to know? It dictates everything. You don't need rules and regulations, to tell you how to act if you're acting on love. I think, for me, I've had my moments where I've been horrible, and I've had my moments when I've been wonderful, and it's going through that balance of making the decision to love, knowing love, being love. That's just part of the growing up process. But depending on your vantage point, if your vantage point is anger, then that's how you see the world. If your vantage point is love, that's how you see the world. It's pretty simple. And, as a child, you got it. You got it right then.
Oh, it was so easy. It's so easy as children. And, of course, we know that the children, before they get knocked around and conditioned and all of that, it's so easy for them to know that, to have that knowing within their hearts. And then they don't have to be taught it. It doesn't have to be legislated. They just know it. And so now, as the children are coming up and we're more aware of these background, these ideas, we have more and more parents who are then projecting that to their children and keeping them, instead of dragging them out of that love space, they're allowing them to grow within it. And that's really the difference between then and now, as I see it.
Well, I can't say about over the centuries, because I can imagine, but there was different expectations for children and parents and society and everything. We're just living in a time where we've gotten to where we are. And, it's a wonderful time to be.
Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah. So I think we should do the announcements.
Okay.
Because that's part of every show, and so I have a big page of them. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to try to make it through, and you have to help me along. We have a lot of announcements. So every show we will do these announcements, and we talk about the stuff that's going on for the rest of the network. But let me start at the top. Okay. We have officially launched the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Rob Gauthier, founder of the EEN and the host of the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, has put together, like I said earlier, the greatest metaphysical radio network ever. Ever. 7 days a week, we have shows that will aid you on your path to enlightenment, evolution, and ascension. Starting on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have Heart to Heart Talk Radio with Daniel Scranton. Join Daniel and his featured guests discussing a wide variety of metaphysical topics. Daniel channels the Creators, the Hathors, Ophelia the Fairy, and Archangel Michael. And the latest is the Unicorn Collective. Daniel and his guests will take phone calls and questions, and it's sure to generate high-frequency discussions. You can find more information about Daniel at his website, danielscranton.com, and also on Facebook. Go to the Events tab on Daniel's website to learn more about Daniel's upcoming events. And I don't know who his guest is for this next week. Do you?
Nor do I.
Okay, well, he will have a wonderful guest on Monday. So if you tune in, it will be a wonderful surprise.
Wonderful surprise.
There you go.
I love surprise.
So, yeah, surprise. Sometimes you just don't need to know. Sometimes you just gotta, just go with the flow and just
buy the seat, baby.
That's it. I do like the fact that he does teach a lot of classes, and anyone could attend his classes via phone, computer, Skype, carrier pigeon, or smoke signal. I think that's pretty awesome.
Or telepathy.
Yeah. Okay, then on Tuesday, so Daniel, I'm not sure who your guest is, but I'm sure they're going to be amazing. On Tuesday at noon, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Megan Crandallmeyer and Rachel Archelaus for Soulfulpreneur, the most difficult sounding show in all of Blog Talk Radio. Soulfulpreneur. It's radio, inspiration, expression, and abundance. Spiritual business specialists Rachel Archelaus and Megan Crandallmeyer will bring you inspiring conversations with people who are living their soul purpose. Frequent guests include psychic mediums, channelers, coaches, authors, and artists. And they end every show with a psychic reading and business coaching. And they welcome your questions, so you can call in and pose a problem, and they will help you work right through it. Then on Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with host, the King, Rob Gauthier. Rob channels Treb on the first Wednesday of every month, and he will take callers' questions. On the third Wednesday, he has special guests, which include channelers and other metaphysical teachers. And then the other 2 Wednesdays are freestyle call-in shows to discuss whatever callers have on their mind. I love listening to Rob because it's always so fun to hear him go from Rob to Trev.
Isn't it?
It's just,
I just love that reptile.
I am
love
just
him.
not convinced that there's not two people in that place, because Rob's voice and Trev's, it's totally two different people. If you ever have a doubt about channeling personalities, tune in, because you will be amazed, and the information that Trev brings is so
Have
amazing.
you ever heard our Deep?
No, I haven't heard him yet, except for that one time that when I did listen to the one show where a woman called in and he came through, and he's like, I don't know, he's like the Cary Grant of the channeling
Holy
world.
shit, sexy ass, man. Sexy ass.
Well, I mean,
I was just like, man, this. I could just picture this dark European suave. Oh, and then what they're bringing through. Of course, I'm joking, but really, I mean, the voice is just the whole energy is just this. And our deep is the seventh density being who. And then the information that they bring through. So such a juxtaposition, again, that word of the different personalities of the different channels, and then Rob's energy on top of that, and then Rob's starting to do the conscious channeling, and wow, it's really exciting.
Well, Rob is so humble and beautiful as a human being, so it's lovely to listen to him.
Indeed.
Okay, then Thursdays we have yours. I want to say yours truly, but you're yours truly. So we have you.
Ooh, me?
Yeah. Thursday nights, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific time. Host Philip Malika. Do you want to tell about your show?
Sure.
Okay.
It's the Consciousness Evolution Hour. It's Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Thank you very much. And 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Lately, we've been really flying by the seat, and it has been fun as hell. We've just been coming into the show, and Roxy's been my co-host the last couple of weeks. We had Allison Hamilton on the last 2 weeks. We've been breaking new ground. We come in with nothing. And the show gets underway, and like Roxy and I are telepathing to each other an hour before the show, and all of a sudden we just get in there, and the flow is just unbelievable, and it just boom, and the next thing I know, I look up and there's like 5 minutes left, and we've had this amazing show. But folks, we're breaking new ground. We're bringing new concepts to the collective. It's an amazing sharing of perspectives, and all around fifth dimension, the shift, ascension, all around the other aspects of ourselves throughout the universe. Living outside of time, future, past selves. I mean, we cover so much ground in it, and the interactions are just absolutely amazing. It's lovely for me and so exciting to be a part of something like that. And then I have been on Roxy's show, which we'll get to on Saturdays, and it's just like a continuation of that. So it's been very, very exciting. I will indeed be bringing on other guests, channelers, and other co-hosts.
I will eventually, until when you stop having so much fun. If you guys were jazz musicians, you'd be riffing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And probably done that or doing that somewhere too. So, it's a beautiful orchestration and very exciting. So tune in Thursday nights, and we're very appreciative of everyone who joins us and joins in our energy on Thursday nights. So be there 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Thank you very much, Karen.
Aw, thank you. And then Friday, we have the Earth Experience with Kalina Angel. She just launched her show on Friday night. She had her first show, and so that went very, very well from what I understand. I haven't gotten to listen to it yet because I was traveling, but Kalina's show is every Friday night at 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific time. The Earth Experience explores our soul's expansion through our human experience on Earth. The first topic explored was what to do when the shift hits the fan, so that had to be really fun. I can't wait to listen to it.
It was a beautifully produced show, very beautifully produced, and it was very exciting to listen to.
And she's going to...
Elena did a great job.
Oh, I'm glad.
Special K.
She's wonderful. And then she's going to be talking about just working through this new 5D shift and our manifestation as these new 5D beings. So that's Kalina Friday night. Then Saturday, we have Roxanne, Roxamania, Roxiphius, Roxalia, Swainhart. I think she just needs to have like 30 names because she's pretty amazing.
Well,
Odyssey of Ascension.
We are everything, are we not?
Yes, we are. I want to call her Roxamania all the time.
Ooh, I like that.
Odyssey of Ascension. It takes place at, the time is, what is the time?
'Cause 11 a.m.
Thank
Eastern,
you.
8
Yes.
a.m. Pacific.
Right. Join the one and only Roxanne Swainhart for 2 hours of knock your socks off Ascension downloads. Be open, be ready, and just be with us while we answer your questions about Ascension, extraterrestrials, soul purpose, energy activations, and all things Ascension. Roxy is a channeler, an Ascension guide extraordinaire, and that's my alarm clock. I don't know why.
Be on the air.
She's extraordinaire. I guess so. I've lost my place. Oh, Roxy is a channeler and the Ascension Guide extraordinaire in these extraordinary times. Living in San Antonio, Texas, Roxy received an awakening experience and promptly exploded onto the metaphysical scene. She posts videos, blogging. She does live group channelings. You can find her on YouTube. It's amazing. Twice a week, I think she posts, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. Wednesdays and Fridays. Typically.
And she's just, you want to talk about blow your mind. She's like I want to say she's like a phenom of the channeling world.
Absolutely.
You know, she really is. So she's incredible. And that's every Saturday. And she channels, just so you know, Osiphius. She also channels the Hathors, Sasani guides, and the collective oversoul fire, just to name a few. So there's just so much. She's in. I can't say enough about her.
And her higher self, Rakia.
Oh, that's right.
Again, consciously channeling. You know, we're all moving into this space of just bringing through our higher selves, and then the energies that are out there. You know, the idea being that once we pop through from fourth density into the higher realm, then all of these energies are available to us, and then we can kind of pick and choose how we connect. But I love the Rakia and then Osiphius, and then you spread out from there, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Well, speaking of channeling your higher self, my higher self is Theos.
Oh, yes.
And that's who I channel. And I agree with you. I've been in conversation with my higher self, like I said, my entire life. But it's only been, I'd say, in the last several years that I had a better understanding of that, who they were, and who, you know, how everything worked in the universe. Because before then, it was just sort of me navigating my 3D world and trying to figure out what was going on. But everybody is a channel, and everyone has their higher self, and it's just the larger part of you loving you and guiding you through life. So
absolutely,
it's just
and we're all discovering, making that connection more and more. And of course, since December of 2012, you know, that the veil is thinned, and now it's so much easier for us to connect to our higher energies in a much more direct way, and to get such good guidance as we're moving through our days. And it's a pleasure to see, you know, on our Consciousness Evolution group, to see the people who are making those connections and then feeling comfortable enough to express it. So we're all moving through that fear of that connection with ourselves and being able to express it, and I love that.
What you said about fear is interesting. You know, when I was a child and I was talking to God, I remember talking to some neighbors and telling them, and they were fearful religious people, and they told me, "Oh no, that's the devil."
Yeah.
And so I got really scared, you know.
The cult that you belong to.
No, but this is when I was, 8 or 9 years old. So I was afraid that, the devil was talking to me.
Yeah, right.
And I thought, how can this thing that's telling me it loves me and making me feel very peaceful and calm be the devil? And, just the fear. So, we don't have to be afraid of anything. And whatever we're hearing, as long as it's coming from a place of love, there's never anything to fear. Yeah. Ever. Even if it's not coming from a place of love, there's still nothing to fear. So, we shouldn't be afraid of any of it. Okay, so then on Sunday, which is today, is my show about oneness, and it will be at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 5 p.m. GMT, because I am living in Europe. I live in Holland. So I'm an American, but I've been living in Holland for 14 years. So I like to include the European audience as much as possible. So 5 p.m. GMT.
We're international, baby. I love it.
We're international. And on this show, we will be focusing basically on everything that I find amazing and fascinating. That's the focus of this show. I want to have people on that are living their highest excitement. So that will include authors and healers and just different people in different walks of life who are just tuned in, turned on, tapped. How do you say it? Tuned in, turned on, tapped in, or something like that. I want those people. Yeah. So,
well, you've got some amazing guests lined up already, have you not?
I do. I have, just for the next month, I have some big ones that I've been announcing. I don't have their fixed dates yet, so I don't want to promote them too much because, for instance, Richard Bach from Jonathan Livingston Seagull, he has agreed to do the show. He is right now writing a book, so he is... Thank you, Judy Giandora on the chat. She said tuned in, tapped in, turned on. She was trying to help me find find those words. But he's going to be on the show, but he's in the middle of writing a book, so he goes into seclusion mode when he's writing. So when he is done, he will be on. But I've got
exciting.
Oh, that's exciting, right?
Yeah.
I think I talked to you. I got an email back from him when he said he'd do the show, and I literally screamed. I was like, Richard Bach.
Exciting. Oh my God.
But I will tell you for the next month who's coming on. I'm gonna try to go into a schedule, but because it was just starting the show and different guests were available at different times, I'm not going to give a very set thing. But next week I will have Crystal van den Akker on. She is a Dutch medium and also channeler. She is my twin soul, and she and I will be doing readings and channeling online. We'll be taking calls and giving readings for people calling in, answering any questions that you want. Crystal will be on at least once a month. The Sunday that she's on will vary according to her schedule, my schedule, and guest's schedule. So, but definitely once a month, Crystal will be on. Crystal and I.
Such a great show when you two came on my show. What a wonderful show! It was so lovely talking to the two of you. I'm really excited for when she comes on.
Well, Crystal is amazing. Crystal is a person that I met several years ago, and we just have a parallel life, and I don't want to say she's living my life or I'm living hers, but if there's a theme that's going on in my life, it's going on in her life as well. So we're constantly comparing and contrasting what's going on, and we're just getting to see it from different perspectives, and that's why we say we're twin souls, because it's just amazing. If I'm having an experience at the grocery store, she may be having the same experience at her office in a different way, but the theme is always the same, and that's what's pretty amazing.
And you're so complementary to each other.
Yeah, and that was effortless. So that's why we feel our connection is so very strong, because it's just like sort of walking next to somebody, and we just sort of fell in step, and we just flow. And then when we do readings together, I have to say that, I read from the left side, she reads from the right side. So you get a very, very complete reading. Yeah, so it's really wonderful. So she'll be on once a month, Crystal van den Akker. We'll call it the Twin Soul Medium theme show. And then twice a month at least I will have guests. I will have authors and channelers and different people. On the 3rd of August will be Philip Goldberg, which I said. He wrote the book called American Veda, and I'm going to start promoting it. If anyone gets a chance, they really need to read this book. He is incredible. He talks about the entire history of how Hinduism affected the West, and he talks about the first time it's amazing how things go back and forth. But, for instance, Ralph Waldo Emerson went to India and was affected by Hinduism and started writing about it. And Gandhi sort of came to his awakening through reading Ralph Waldo Emerson. So it goes
Really?
back and forth. Yeah, it's an incredible book. It really talks about stuff you don't realize how people's lives impact you, but it's sort of the essence of dropping the stone in the water and the waves just spreading out. And in the music world, in the jazz world, I'm a jazz singer, they always talk about you need to know your history. You need to know who came before you and what they brought to the table. And this is just really the same thing, You get to see the path that was laid by the people who came before us and how that has just spread out and changed the world in so many different ways. It's just so exciting. The book is incredible. And he's a very good speaker. Yeah. Philip Goldberg on the 3rd of August. And then on the 10th of August, I will have my very dear friend and author of Waking the Lions. Her name is Francesca Cassini. She's from the UK. She is an amazing woman. She took a year of her life and became a nomad. She sold literally everything she had, and she just went on the road. And she came to some amazing awakenings, and it culminated in her writing a book called Waking the Lions. And she'll be there to talk about it. She's a very well-spoken, just interesting woman, and how she really discovered that love was it. And it's just an amazing person. And then after that, I will actually be in the States. So
yes, very exciting.
I'll be in the States
for our party.
I'll be there for the party on the 17th of August. I don't remember who. Oh, I know who I'm having. I'm having a man also from Holland. His name is Slotko. He's actually Serbian, but he is an expert on sacred geometry, and he creates mandalas that are really amazing.
That's just come into my awareness recently. Can you explain what that is?
Well, a mandala is a geometric formation, and they are used to help you shift consciousness during meditation. You can build a mandala. You can also stare at a mandala. Building it is one way of changing your consciousness. When you're building the mandala, the ultimate use of it is to be used during meditation. But when you're building it, it's also putting your own energy into the creation of it.
Wow.
Because in the sort of the teachings of the world, there's only so much that words can bring you.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
And then as you sort of get into the higher realms of consciousness, symbolism replaces words. Yes. So what's interesting about different languages, if you look at the language of the Jewish people, Hebrew, every word, every letter is a symbol, and every symbol has its own meaning as well as being a letter in the alphabet. And there is something to that vibration of having letters being symbols, because they take you to a higher consciousness. And a mandala does the same. It helps you go into a higher level of consciousness through the different shapes. I had a discussion with Roxy actually not so long ago. I was saying that when I meditate, I always see triangles as I meditate. And when I'm tuning into my guides, there's a specific Om that I do that's a lower Om. It's not like Om, it's Om, like that. And that's really, when I'm seeing that triangle and I'm also doing that Om, it's really like the phone number of the entity that I'm tuning into, which is my higher self. But and if you listen to Daniel or to Treb when they start oming, or when and Daniel does his tuning, the vibrational sound is really like the phone number of the energy that you're tapping into.
Absolutely, the Hathors sound completely different than if he's preparing to do Ophelia the Fairy.
Exactly. And the mandala is also a way to get into that space. And within Hinduism, every deity has their own mandala, but every person also can create their own that will take them into their own higher self.
And this is becoming more and more important, because as we're moving into fourth density, fifth dimension, so many of the things that we're coming across and the energies have no translation. We haven't a language yet
No.
so much of this. So the sacred geometry, the symbolism is all becoming much more important as we begin to share these ideas, and then that together with the telepathy aspect is going to be a very important new means of our communication between the symbols and the telepathy, that we will be able to share these ideas in a much more a clearer fashion, because words just fail. I mean, you can only say I love you so many times, and when you start to find yourself in these higher connections, the love saying it just doesn't even begin to do justice to the feeling and the emotion and the reality
Right.
of that energy.
Well, that's why music is so powerful, because music speaks, in vibration as well. I mean, music is vibration, it's sound vibration, but it can lead to so much emotion and to so much, opening. It can express anger, it can express love, it can express excitement, it can express fear. Everything is tied to that vibration, and that's why tuning is very important. All these different things, and then the actual vibration is actually just math in sound. I mean,
Yes.
so mandalas, or mandalas, however you say it, are just the physical visualization of these sounds and of these numbers and of this vibrational telephone that we have. I guess that's the best way to say. So that's the 17th.
Thank you for explaining that. That was very nice.
Oh, thank you. And that's Slatko, and I call him Slatko Mandala because I cannot say his last name. But he's Serbian, but he's amazing, and he's really good. He'll be on. And then the 27th, is that right? What is the following weekend? It's the weekend the 26th.
I have no idea.
Well, the weekend after, the last weekend of the day of the weekend, the Sunday of your party.
Oh, yes, which is the sorry.
It's Labor Day weekend.
Be the 31st.
That is the week that I will be there with Roxy, and Roxy will be on the show with me.
Nice.
And we're going to do a brunch. We're going to do a spiritual brunch, lunch, fun extravaganza. That's what we've decided to call it.
How fun. And
we would like to do it from your house, but we haven't quite convinced you yet. But if not, we're going to take over a local restaurant.
Oh, I'm convinced.
Okay, great.
I'm convinced.
So good.
Done deal.
Okay. Awesome. That was easy. Easy enough.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, so that's the first couple shows. I don't want to go too far in the future, but we've got a lot of wonderful people lined up. I'm basically filled in all the way to January with different people and different shows. So, but I don't want to tell everybody too soon. But if you can, read American Veda, because it would be really nice to have people calling in to ask Philip questions that know the book, and you will be amazed by it. You can get it on Amazon or any bookstore anywhere, but it's an incredible book. So that's my show. And then, starting on Tuesday, I wonder if she's on yet. Let's see. Wait 1 second. I don't want to do it. We have a new. You start the announcement, and let me see if I can't find her. Yes.
Actually, I don't have it in front of me.
What?
I can go grab it if you want to talk for 5 seconds. Let me grab it. Hang on.
Well, basically, we have the Consciousness Evolution. What am I saying? The Enlightenment Evolution Network 2, because 2, that's 2 is in the second, and the new show by Victoria Vives is called Earth Sky People Radio, and Victoria is supposed to be on the line, so I wanted to bring her on and let her. She is on the 213 area code. Do you see her?
No, I don't have 213.
We don't have her.
No.
Victoria, call in.
Unless she's on the website, but I do not see her on the dial-in. So, Victoria, if you're listening, give us a quick dial. It's 347-308-8788.
That's right.
Karen can let you tell us about your new show coming up.
That's right. I don't want to steal her thunder. I want her to do it herself because she's pretty amazing. But anyway, we can go ahead and start taking calls if anyone wants to put up their hand. They just have to push 1. But just I will give the dial-in number. It's 347-308-8788.
Yep, and press 1 on your dial pad, folks.
Right.
That lets us know that you'd like to talk to the host.
Yes.
So if you're listening in, call into the number 347-308-8788, press 1, and we'll take your phone calls as you come in.
Yes. I think we have Roxy on the line, don't we? Oh, I see Victoria.
She just popped in.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect. Grab her.
Great. Okay, I'm bringing her in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Vives. Are you there, Victoria?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I was
Welcome.
Here. I just have a new phone, so I don't know how to dial. So I'm listening to you and trying to dial.
Oh, okay. But Victoria, why don't you tell
I'm
everyone?
having a great time.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Listening
today is just a show to just say hello to everyone, to talk about the upcoming shows, and also just to give everybody a chance to call in, because there's so many people that I've talked to. Especially, we have a group on Facebook that I consider it my home base group. It's the Consciousness Evolution. What am I saying? Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group that Philip Malika is the head of the group, but we have several thousand people in the group, and I really consider this to be my home base. So there's so many people on that chat. If you want to be added to the group, just check it out on Facebook and we can add you. You can join in. But there's so many people there that I've spoken to, and just in chat, that I wanted to open up a chance for them to call in, and different people. But Victoria, you have a show starting on Tuesday, and why don't you tell us about it? Yeah.
I'm so excited. Everything about this network is just amazing. It's like a family. I just joined. I didn't know any of you, and I feel like really this is a family, and all of us working towards the same, about bringing more awareness and oneness and consciousness. And yes, so my show, it is going to be about Earth and Sky. It's called Earth Sky People, and my intention is to really go into that sense that we are all part of the same. So even if we have different ideas, we can still join together, respecting one another. So I will be having guests. Some of them are going to be very related to the Earth's energy, meaning that they live in the wild, or they are very physically oriented but still very aware. And others, like me, a little more, are more connected with star nations, extraterrestrial life, star seeds. So we can discuss all these different aspects and really bring all of this together in harmony.
Oh, I have something to share with you that I didn't share with you yet, but I wanted to tell you. When I was in college, so I was about 18 years old, and I remember having an experience in meditation, and I was suddenly standing on what I would say was the, if you look at Star Trek and you're standing on the flight deck and you're looking out through the space windows. And this is my, I am not a person who's had ET experiences. So this is I've had 2 things happen in my life. One when I was very young, and this one. But I suddenly was standing there, and there were people, they were literally sitting at a control panel, and they were looking out, and I said, I was just being me, and I was like, where am I? What am I doing here? And they said, we're the Galactic Council. And we're watching this is what they said to me. They said, we're watching the Adams and the Eves of this particular planet. And it wasn't Earth, it was another planet.
Wow.
And they were watching them go through this awakening of that first moment of the Adams and the Eves, which I've just recently learned that Adam in the original Bible and the original writings was never meant to be a singular term. It was meant to be a plural term, and Eves. So they were calling them the Adams and the Eves. And they said they were the Galactic Council. And I'd never heard of the Galactic Council. I didn't know anything about the Galactic Council. I've never seen them since, but that was my one experience with them. And they were really excited about watching this one civilization starting to develop, and they called them the Adams and the Eves, and they said, we're watching them. And they said to me that this happens on every planet and every civilization of this type.
How beautiful.
So that's my only experience. But you talk about the Galactic Council all the time, the Galactic Federation, and I was like, I know them, but I only know that's all I know about it. So I'm excited to tune into your show and learn more about it.
Oh, and it's so up my alley too. I'm so pleased, Victoria, that you're bringing this kind of a show onto the network, because this is like my second love as part of all this energetic shift, and I kind of put all these energies together into one basket now. But I love that you're bringing this to the network, because it's so exciting for me to be in a part of that. And I have people come to me, they'll PM me and say, hey, I saw you on a ship last night in my dreams, and you came up and introduced yourself. And I'm like, how cool is that? I love it.
That's
so
really
much for
cool.
sharing all of this. That's so beautiful. And yes, I had those experiences as well, of course, of, seeing myself in a ship and overseeing planets that to which we are sending light, and, all sorts of experiences. And I also have a group with whom I can share these things, because they have the same experiences. So all of these we want to start sharing and bring more awareness about all that we know regarding extraterrestrial life and star seeds. But at the same time, we want to include all the connection with Mother Earth that is so important. Yes. So how we can live in tune with Mother Earth, creating intentional communities, and also this brings this healing to our communities, our relationships with one another. So all of that. And also what you said about music and sound, oh my goodness, that is one of my big topics as well. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, yeah.
So tell about the event that's coming that you're doing together with Rob.
Yes, the chanting. Yes.
Oh, yes, so exciting. That is going to be with Rob Gauthier and Daniel Scranton, and we have more guests as well as comedians. So we're going to have a chanting for peace and laughter. And this is going to be in August 2nd. It is a Saturday. It is going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so we can all tune all around the world. And this is the second event that we do of this kind. The first one was totally amazing. Like, we could feel the connection with one another, because this is a live streaming with people, from India, from Spain, from Switzerland, from everywhere in the world. And this time is going to be even more amazing, because we have also the comedy aspect, which we didn't have the other time. So everybody's invited. You just need to go to victoriavives.com/peace and the number 2. So there is all the information, the times for each different place around the world, and it's so easy. You just have to click the video, and you will see us, and you can even join us, and we can see you if you want to, and we can hear you if you want. Yeah, that's a fun part, that people
that's exciting.
Talking and chanting, and we can see everyone, and yeah, it was great.
Well, chanting is so important, and I think, if you're not doing any kind of chanting or meditating, you're really missing something on your spiritual path, because it really is the connection. It's that vibration. It's about, becoming the vibration and matching to what you're connecting to. So I encourage everyone. It's not a requirement, but it's a wonderful part of your spiritual practice.
Yes, in some traditions they see it as a shortcut to
it is a shortcut.
And ascension.
Well, it is, because it actually shifts your consciousness. Wow. It shifts your consciousness, and in that consciousness shift, you're able to tune in and to tap in to the universe, and that's really a tool that we have to do that. So,
It is, and imagine when we join together, that is also very special in the sense that our voices are all resonating throughout our earth all together. And I also wanted to do this because there was this experiment in which 7,000 people got together to meditate, and the peace in the world increased in a 72%.
right.
So that means that we can really make a transformation in the world if we just dedicate a little bit of time to join together and laugh and chant and just feeling those feelings that sometimes we don't allow in our lives. Relaxation and community and happiness, all of that.
The energy vortex and the ripples that are created by us coming together in that way go out everywhere in the universe. Everywhere in the universe is affected when we bring our voices together like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it just, once you start to, it's kind of, the one potato chip kind of thing. Once you taste it once, you just want it more and more and more.
Right on.
So
right
just,
Beautiful.
exactly. Start chanting, everyone. Start chanting.
Yes.
Yeah, yay. Did you have anything else, Victoria? I have some other calls, but I wanted you to be able to come in. You can stay with us if you want, and I think we can get
It's okay.
Roxy and bring
I'm
Roxy in.
delighted of listening to you both, and I want you to give opportunity to more people to join. So I will just go and listen from my computer, and
Aw.
I'm just enjoying. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. And be sure to come on see Victoria's show on Tuesday. What time, Victoria? One more time?
It's at 6 p.m. PST and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is a different network, so just make sure to go to the different link. This is the Enlightenment Evolution Network 2. So it's a different link. Yeah.
It's 2 and also. Yes. Yes.
Oh, thank you for coming on, Victoria. Lovely to speak with you, and we're so excited for your show starting Tuesday night.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'll be listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Love to
Victoria.
you.
Bye. Love to you. Aw. You should check her out. Have you been on her website? She's like super duper martial artist woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's been in all kinds of movies. And
holy cow, wow.
yeah, she's a pretty amazing one.
Yeah.
So check out Victoria Vives.
Absolutely. We actually have a caller online with a question.
Okay, we can take a caller.
Would
I'm
you like
happy.
to take it?
Yes, I like questions.
All right.
I like questions.
Have Rosa Maria. Hello, Rosa Maria.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Wonderful.
Rosa Maria.
How are you?
Good.
Do you have a question, Rosa Maria? Welcome to the show.
Whatever you can pick up spiritually around me, or whatever you need a question.
I'm so sorry. I didn't hear what she said.
You were breaking up.
Whatever spiritually around. I'm sorry. Whatever you can pick up spiritually, or you need a specific question.
Well, okay. I like to work with specific questions because what is it that you're wanting to know?
What's around me, like job-wise coming up, or relationship, whatever you can pick up, either one.
Okay. Well, all right. Just give me a second. I'll just tell you this. Before I do this reading, this is what I tell to everyone, because I don't do a lot of readings like this anymore, and I'll tell you why. Because you create your own reality, first of all. So it's not really so much for you to ask other people what's coming into your life. It's about you creating what you want for your life, And the reason that I don't like to do these kind of readings that much anymore is because it's not really for me to tell you what your life will be. It's for you to decide what you want for your life. So I'm going to turn the question around and I'm going to ask you what it is that you want.
A lot of things, because I'm doing a lot of shifting this week. A lot of it. There's a lot of shifting going on.
Okay, just let me tune into you for just one moment. Let me just tune into you for just one moment, Marie. Okay. All right. All right. Have you been for a while without work? Because that's what I'm picking up, that you're not at this moment, that you're currently not employed. Okay. I'll just say this. You need to take any job that comes along at this point, because right now you've gotten into a situation where you say, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, but sort of in saying that, you're pushing away all opportunity. Don't be too proud to take anything, and I don't mean it in a way of I don't mean that in a negative way. What I'm saying is that when you get into a situation, you've gotten into a situation where you didn't take some opportunities, so less opportunities have come to you. You sort of need to be in the mentality of, I appreciate and I'm happy with whatever comes my way, and I'm going to grab hold of it, believing that that will lead to something better. But I think right now your self-confidence has been shaken a little bit. So now you're into the mentality of you're not believing that something is going to come for you. And by not believing it, you're actually creating that not believing it. So are you doing something I want to say you're doing something in the reception, working at some kind of desk, not some kind of desk kind of job, and I don't mean in a secretary, but I mean something in the way of working at a store, but working in that area. Is that correct? Hello?
No.
Not now, but in the past. Is that what you've done in the past? Excuse me?
No, I did computer work.
Okay, so you're working at a desk.
My field.
Okay. Well, you need to be open to that. And let me just say this: when you're looking for a position, don't think of it as, oh, this isn't good enough for me. I think you just need to be really open to whatever comes along right now, because right now you need a job, any job, because you need to have that financial stability, and you need to feel like you're taking an active part in your life, because right now you're sort of sitting around and you're wondering what's happening to you. And it's not about life happening. I'm sorry.
I'm in a town that's a little crazy. That's why.
Well,
Overseas, so I'm in a town that's people are a little weird. So it's like bad energy around me.
okay.
Too much.
Well,
So
everybody, if you take a job that gives you a little bit more mobility, then maybe you can change your location. But everybody is weird, really. Everything is weird. Sure.
Something that came to mind for me too. And as you're doing this, try not to think in terms of a job. I like to tell people to think in terms of a situation or a circumstance that serves you and provides you an abundance and a living. But I try to get people away from the idea of a job, because the idea of needing a job or having to have a job leads people right into the face of lack, because job gives you the sense of, without a job, now I'm vulnerable, I don't have the abundance. So I just suggest to people very, very gently that it's just a matter of changing your thinking. Are you looking for a job? Well, yes, but try not to look at it that way. Try to look at it as in terms of looking for a circumstance or an event that serves you. And it's just a little tweaking of thinking. I've become very, very cognizant of my self-talk these days.
Yes.
Because these words that we are using when we talk to ourselves because we are creating our own reality, cause us then to create whatever energy we're carrying through our words out into our outside world. So I try and just give people, just be aware of your self-talk and use terms that are of service, that have a nice soft service joyful edge to them instead of going to the words that indicate this lack or the sense of needing to do something, having an obligation that way. Okay, I'm good.
Are you good?
I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. Rosemary, thank you very much for your call. I'll just say this. Just be open to any opportunity that comes along. And as far as the people around you, when you're in a good space for yourself, it doesn't matter so much what people around you are doing. Anybody else's energy is only a reflection of our own energy, really. So when we look out into the world, we're really just seeing ourselves being reflected back to us. So it's not so much that the circumstances around you need to change. What needs to change is your idea about them. And that might sound like something really far away from you right now, because it feels to me that that's a big concept for you. But I would just start trying to, instead of looking so much at others, look more at yourself, and start saying to yourself about your own value, that that you have value, that you're loved, and start trying to find a way to be more happy. And as you do that, it's that vantage point of how are you seeing the world? Are you seeing it from a place of happiness and love? Or are you seeing it from a place of fear and anger? And if you see it from a place that's not a happy spot, everything around you is going to be reflected back to you like that.
Right. Well said.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your call, Rosa Maria, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you for tuning in to us. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yay. Thank you, Rosemary,
Very nice.
for calling in.
We have a number of other calls on the line. Shall we keep going?
Yes, please.
Okay. And,
I like talking to people.
Yes, indeed. All right. This is the 816 area code, 816. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, guys. This is PBS.
PBS. I love it. Hello, Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Public Broadcasting Station.
That's awesome. I hope
I'm having so much fun. It's so funny. I just listen to these shows. I'm just always laughing and just feeling so good. I love it.
Isn't it better to be doing that than doing anything else? Just laughing and having fun is the most important thing.
It's so much better. And just like the telepathic moments, like, oh my gosh, it's blowing my mind, but in a way it's not, because I'm just getting so used to expecting these things to happen that it's becoming like we've been talking about, it's the norm. And I love it. Like, one thing is, when I've been calling into the shows and trying to pose a question, I'm kind of having more and more difficulty even really coming up with a question, because almost as soon as I think of it, it's like the answer just comes to me. And if it doesn't come to me, then it'll come to me in a form of synchronicity without me having to do anything. I'm loving it.
Well, that's really cool. So basically you called in to tell us you do not have a question. That's how it happened.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I love that you said that, though.
Yeah.
I really love that you said that, because this is the space we're moving into, where we're no longer looking outside ourselves for the answers. And I love this, and I don't know how that serves a question and answer network such as ours, but be that as it may, this is really where we're trying to lead people. We're trying to lead them to their own mastery. Are we not?
Exactly. And the thing is just, it doesn't have to be that you have a question. You can just call in to sort of toot your own horn of your own manifestations and be like, you know what? Everything's going great. And that's even better.
Right.
Well, I think that's even better.
What's interesting, and like one of the things, I'll just, as an example, is last night, as I was going to bed, I was watching a little documentary on YouTube, and it was about sound and vibration, or at least a part of it was, and they were talking in detail about the ancient languages like Sanskrit and Hebrew, and what you guys were talking about, and how those words are symbols and carry a vibration. And actually there's science behind it that shows that uttering those languages actually can affect physiological things such as blood pressure and can affect the patterns of crystals in water and all that stuff. And then this morning, I had no idea when your show was, Karen, and I just was on Facebook right as it was starting, and that's how it's been too. Is like I've been connecting to these shows without barely having to do any planning at all.
Living
awesome.
in the moment spontaneously. Love it.
Exactly. What is it that you and Roxy have been calling it, Phil? The
Slipstream. Yeah.
Slipstream. Roxy came up with that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful statement.
This is an example of one of those new fifth dimensional terms that we're starting to settle on, and they are coming. We're starting to get some terms to explain some of these things that seem very appropriate.
I did bring to mind one thing. I'll just share this. Everybody has their way of creating. Everyone's coming into the awareness of the creation. And we create everything. We create the good, we create the bad, we create it all. And we need to take credit for all of it, and we need to celebrate all of it. Even the stuff that we create that's not what we want, we have to say, I created that, and really get excited about it, because there's an appreciation for what has actually happened. But the way that it works is we set an intention, whatever that may be, and that goes out into the universe and it comes back. But what actually happens is it's not actually coming into our reality. What's happening is we're shifting into the reality where that is true. And what we're learning how to do in a very skillful way is shift into the place where whatever it is we're intending is. So we're becoming conscious shifters now more than ever.
Yes.
And that's the thing that we're maybe, we say, oh, I want a new car, and then a new car shows up in a very nice way. Well, the new car didn't drop down out of the sky. What happened is we went to the place where the new car was. And now everything that, and our PBS here is just, he's having fun. Well, you're having fun sort of throwing stuff out and seeing where you land. I guess, what was that show with the time jumpers where they would jump realities?
Quantum Leap?
Yes, that one.
Quantum Leap. Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly what happens.
Was that who that was?
Sorry?
Yeah,
Was that Scott Bakula?
That was a great show.
Yes.
Scott Bakula, yeah.
Yes.
I loved that show when I was younger.
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
And also, it's like learning. For me, it's like now that I'm in the space of expecting this stuff, or like you said, being conscious of my shifting and aware of it, it's just happening so much more often. Like those little boomerangs, even though, like you said, it's not really going anywhere or coming back. It's just us that's shifting into the frequency where that exists. But I'm shifting, and there may be little shifts, just like the example I gave, like little things. But I guess it's the feeling behind it when it happens. And like whenever I'm talking, I've never been a big person, one to have big conversations unless they were really tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And now I'm able to, I don't even like talking on the phone really. But now that I'm getting tuned in, tapped in, turned on, it's getting so much more fun to actually have these conversations. And it's like the words are not really what it's about. It's the energy behind them, and we're just kind of decorating this energy with our words. Yes. And we're doing these transmissions, and we're receiving from each other constantly. And like we were talking about self-talk, we're becoming aware. I hear a lot of people when Bashar is talking to someone, if they use the word try, he'll cut them off.
Right.
Yeah. For example.
Yeah.
Well, because all those sayings and things from our language, we're also decorating our energy, but it's the old 3D energy, and so now, we're moving into being able to redecorate.
I agree with you. I think that it's a matter of, it's the difference between hoping and knowing. And believing and knowing. Knowing. When you are creating something and you're hoping that it happens, well, eventually it may or may not happen. But when you know, just know, then it manifests. It has to, right at that moment. It's in the blink of an eye. And the more we move into this knowing, as opposed to trying to convince ourselves to know. I mean, that's why Abraham always talks about, like, just forget about what you said.
You know what it is? What it is? If I can jump in here for 1 second. Hoping places you in time.
Yes.
Right.
And we are masters, and we are moving to living outside of time.
Yes.
And once you start living outside of time, what you begin to realize is that everything that shows up is there just for you. And so now, if you, instead of taking any circumstance and labeling it as good or bad, now you've taken good and bad right out of the equation, and you can move into that neutral space where you are creating your experience as you go along. And so now it's not, oh, this happened and this is bad. No, it's all good. Bless it all, because it's your creation, and it's moving you into the space that you want to occupy. So every circumstance, every detail, every event is there to serve you when you stand outside of time and create your experience spontaneously in each and every moment.
Right. And the thing is that we create consciously and unconsciously, and I guess the idea is that we're moving more and more into the conscious creation, because if we know that we create it all, then that's the time to start making some choices. And then you can get really joyful about it, and it's not such a surprise. Sometimes surprises are nice, but if we really want to pre-pave everything, then it's about consciously creating. It's the knowing that I want to make a point about, though, about for people who are saying, well, how is it that this isn't coming, or when is my stuff coming, or when is my knowing coming? We never doubt that spring is coming. I say that to people all the time. We never doubt it. So we don't get all weirded out about the fact that spring may never come. So we just let it come.
You don't place it into time because it's not necessary.
Exactly. So in that knowing, it always shows up. And if we can have that same knowing about whatever it is that we set our intention for, then it will also show up. It has to. And that's the place that we're getting into. The more and more proof that we have that this works, the less of a stretch it is for people to believe. And that's what that's what our work is now, is to start allowing that knowing to come through.
Absolutely.
So it's really exciting, It's really, really exciting.
Really good.
Yeah, we're doing all right as a human race. We're getting there. Let's just say it like that.
Well,
we're already there, but we're getting there.
It's kind of like also the Abraham analogy, or if I was driving from Kansas City to Michigan, I wouldn't turn around halfway there because I wasn't there yet. And it's like, we know, the knowing comes from knowing that all this stuff is already there. It's not, it's already there. And so that's where the knowing comes in.
Yep.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, and the only thing that blocks us is our own stuff. It's already there. It's just that we build our own wall so that we can't see stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said the word, you used the word choices, because I feel like a lot of people, I felt like this at one point in my in the metaphysical kind of community, that it's not okay to experience negative emotion, or that if there's something going on, you must have thought the wrong thoughts or had too many negative thoughts, or there's just this reluctance to have the totality of the experience that we came here to have.
Of humanness.
And of humanness. And as soon as we embrace that, which is the paradox, then it changes and we shift. But until we,
Well, it's about being a complete... I have to say that I had the same kind of realization, and it hasn't been that long ago, that, all of it, that you have to look at all of it. You have to really, it's love and happiness is nice and fluffy and it feels good, but there's a reason that we experience both.
Because we're tasters of emotion.
Exactly. I had a wonderful discussion with Crystal. We're doing a study every Wednesday, and I'll post it if people want to join in. We're doing a study on Course in Miracles. And Course in Miracles, the first part of Course in Miracles says that nothing unreal can be threatened. Nothing real can be threatened, and nothing unreal exists. And the only thing that's really real is love. So if you feel like you have to protect it, if you feel like it's threatened, and then it's not real. And it's about knowing what's real and knowing what's not real, and it's about learning to know the difference. And so, so anything that we experience that's negative, or what we perceive as negative, is just part of the whole. It's just part of the whole. So there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to run away from. Embrace it all,
Right.
because it is just the Creator experience the different aspects of itself. And the point that I wanted to make is that we were talking about, people always say, oh, why does God allow this? Why does God not allow that? God is just experiencing everything and delighting in it all.
Yes.
Because it's all just a different experience. It's all just a different manifestation of creation. And even the things that don't feel great or awful are still experiences of creation. And so the reason God isn't...
Whole show on that.
Yeah, and I'd love to do a whole show on that. It's just all... It's all an expression of everything. And God is so busy appreciating the creation that he's not seeing it as good, bad, or whatever. He's just seeing it as another expression that we've chosen to manifest.
And as conscious creators, whatever shows up in our lives, whatever circumstance, is there to serve us.
Yes.
And so when we hold back on the need to label things as positive or negative and just as is, then you start to get this glimpse that everything that happens to you is in service to you, whether you can see how or not.
Yes,
and once
exactly.
That is putting yourself in the slipstream. Once you've removed that need to label and you just know that whatever is showing up, that even if you can't see how or when or where that's going to serve you, is the knowing that it is. Now
Exactly.
You've taken yourself and you put yourself in the slipstream, and the universe, always say the YOU, universe,
Yeah. Right.
is there to serve you, because it's you're creating it, and everything that shows up is going to help you. So even if it looks bad, it might appear to be not to your benefit, you're in this slipstream where you know that it is. So it's just a matter of waiting for the Tetris piece to fall into its right slot. You know what I mean?
Well, if you take the perspective that your higher self, is directing everything, that it's all your creation, then who's going to love you more than you? It's just you bringing you more opportunities to get what you said that you signed up for before you came into this life. It's the experiences, and all roads will lead you home. So welcome them all.
Absolutely. Bless
Welcome everything.
Bless every asshole.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Bless everyone. I'll just take a second, and I'm going to go here now, and I didn't know if I was going to bring it up in the show or not, but I live in Holland, and we just lost a lot of people on the Malaysia flight in Holland. Everybody here is feeling it. Everyone here is reeling. And I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, well, just send love to all the families. And they said, yes, except for the people that bombed them. And I said, no, send them more love.
Right.
More.
Because everyone needs the love. Everyone. They played a part in, we don't know where this is going to lead, but it's always going to lead us to a better place. So,
Absolutely.
Send healing to Holland for all the people, but also send healing to the people who shot down a plane.
Yeah.
Heal everyone. We're all one. It's just an aspect of ourself, an ugliness in ourself that's been brought to the surface that we can fix and heal now.
And that, and everyone who's involved in any circumstance when you come to something like that is involved purposely. They're involved purposely to
Exactly.
bring light and awareness to certain ideas,
Right.
in order for certain things that are going to happen, which have already happened in some future timeline, that certain things have to happen in a past timeline, which is where we're experiencing them now, but it's all in service to us. So when people complain about, the government is failing, or, these terrible things that are happening in the world, when you take that higher perspective and are able to place yourself in that, now you begin to see the intricate way that creation is done, in which everything is in service. So even the things, again, going back to this idea that what appears bad is always in service. So if you can just release the need of having to label it as such, and even though it is tragic in that sense, in the third dimensional sense, that it is very tragic, and of course our hearts and our compassion go out to the people involved, but that we're all playing our roles here, where we've stepped into our roles, and it all is in service to the whole.
Exactly. It is all in service. Daniel Scranton said something the other day in a chat, and it was funny, but it was true. He said, even Darth Vader turned out to be a good guy in the end.
Exactly.
We don't know. We don't know till it's all over how it's going to be.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks for calling in, PBS.
Yes, thank you for calling in. Thanks for that wonderful conversation. Keep tooting your own horn. Yeah.
Love you, Philip. Talk to you soon.
Love you guys too. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. We do have some more callers, Karen.
Oh, good. Who are they? Where are they? Come in.
Who are they? Where are they? I don't know. But I can put them on.
I would like that.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. We've got let's see, longest hold time, and I apologize if somebody disconnected.
I know who that one is.
The top one?
Oh, that one's the 26-minute one? I don't know who that is. Let's talk to that one.
Let's find out.
Okay.
All right. This is the 831 area code. 831, who are we speaking with?
Hi, this is Karen calling.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I'm Karen as well.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, hi. Hi. Thanks for answering my call. I do have a question to see if you can help me with something. I lost an amulet my mother gave me. She recently died a month ago. She wore it for 47 years, and I had it around my neck. It's a tiny turquoise Mother Mary amulet.
Okay.
I had it around my neck on a petite gold chain, and I was a whole bunch of different places, and suddenly I noticed it was not on my neck, and I'm not even sure what happened to it, or if the universe took it, if I carelessly lost it, if I can get it back, or what message I might have about that.
Let me tell you, I'm not good with that kind of thing, but my twin soul crystal is very good with that. She's like the super duper finder medium. So I'm going to do this.
Oh.
If you will send an email to me, I will get Crystal to give a reading to you for that. But the only thing that I see is it falling down your shirt and going sort of into some pants. And I would challenge you to say that when you took off your clothes, that it could be in that area. But I can't even promise you that I'm not guessing with that.
Can I?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay. The reason it's lost is because it's lost.
Yes?
Because you think it's lost.
Yeah, that's true too.
So instead of thinking in terms of it being lost, it's just on a vacation.
Yeah.
And the moment that you release the idea of it being lost, then it will no longer be lost.
Okay.
Does that help any?
It's not in my immediate possession, and I would like to have it in my conscious and knowable and immediate possession.
Then think of it as not. Then try not to think of it as being lost. that it's just misplaced and that it will turn up perfectly for you.
Okay.
It's just,
yes.
again, I'm just going back to self-talk.
I understand. I understand that concepts and what we think about is what we manifest, and it's extremely important. So, I appreciate your guidance and correction on that. And I will switch my thinking and do a meditation on it. Just what you said.
Karen, I'd just say this. If you, I know that sometimes, like you were saying, was it taken from me? Sometimes when we have an attachment to something, there's a lot of, sometimes things do come out of our existence because it's about letting go of some things. So, it depends on, but I don't want to make that judgment for you. That's for you to decide. But Phil's exactly right. Start thinking about it as not being lost.
Yeah, thank you.
But listen, what I say is, if you go on Facebook, sure. But if you go on Facebook and you send me a private message, then I will get Crystal to do a kind of reading for you.
I'm not on Facebook.
Okay, write down my email address.
Yes, please.
Karen, Karen, and then the number 2 at Z. Yeah, the number 2, so Karen 2. Apparently in Holland there was only one Karen before me. It's just I'm the second one. And then at Zigo, which is ZIGGO.N as in Nancy, L as in Linda. Karen 2 at Zigo.NL. And if you send me an email, but I'll just say this, sometimes things disappear for just a moment, and then you find them when you just let it go and think, okay, it's okay if it's gone, it's okay if it's not, and things will show up. Phil's exactly right. Start thinking of it as just, it's not in your awareness right now, but you know that it's safe and that you know that it's still in your life. If you close your eyes, do you feel like it's gone, or do you feel like it's around, you're just not knowing where it is? Do you know the difference of what I'm asking you?
Yes, I do. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I was like 10 or 15 different places, walking along the beach, all over town, this, that. I mean, it's like it's not in my car. I wasn't at home when it was lost or left me or whatever. So it's out in the world somewhere, and I feel shaken to the core.
I know, I hear it in you, and I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I know that there's an emotional attachment. What you have to do is you just have to believe that it will come back to you, and just leave it there. But what I would do mentally is what they tell you to do is just to walk through your day and feel.
I've done that. I've called everywhere. I've felt everywhere. I've gone everywhere. I've called everywhere. I've searched everywhere. I've spent the last day and a half searching endlessly, calling, searching, looking, retracing.
Okay. All right. What I feel, and what I said is, I feel it sort of sliding down your shirt. And into your bottom of your shirt, and so it would have come to a point where you would have taken.
It's not in my clothes or shirt or pants or anything like that, and it didn't fall out in a place where I've been able to locate it. I was out all day.
Mm-hmm. And this was just today or yesterday?
No, it was yesterday.
Okay.
I was out. I was never at home, so it cannot absolutely in any way be at home.
Right. Send me an email, seriously, and I will get in touch with Crystal, and we'll do our best to help you. I don't pick up a lot. I feel it, like I said, I feel it sliding down your neck, and then I feel it settling in your shirt. And I don't know if you were somewhere where you would have gone to the bathroom, and were you somewhere where you went to the bathroom and then you took off your pants and then it would have come out then? But I do feel it sliding down your neck. I just don't have a real feel of where that was. But Crystal's so much better at that than me. She really is.
Okay.
And I'll send energy to help you locate it.
Thank you very much. I'll
send me
Thank
the
you.
email.
Really good.
Yeah, and we'll do our best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Best wishes, Karen. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. You know,
Okay.
it's sometimes it's hard to think positive when you're just in the middle of feeling something, you know.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to like get into that space, and there's an attachment, and I can imagine when it's something from your mother who's not with you,
Gosh, yes.
you know.
Yes.
So I want to do my best to help her find it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Would you like to speak with Rakia?
I would. I'd like to.
Ooh, well, let's bring Rakia on the line. Hello, my dear.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
I'm sitting here
Roxamania.
listening to Karen and hi, Davey. Roxamania. That was so funny. I would like to kind of like that. It's Roxamania. Rocka-lunga-ding, rocka-rama. Okay.
Exactly. That's you.
Let me. I know. Let me shout out to Karen who just hung up the phone.
Yes.
Okay.
Karen, I'm not sure if she knows who I am and what I do, but I'll offer you this. What I got was Mom saying the relationship between you and the amulet was defining the relationship that you had, and you were holding on to the memories of what was between you and your mother. What she wants you to do is let go of that relationship, and then it will return to you as an item of remembrance, but not as a defining item on what was. She wants you to connect to her in a vibrational state that is more intimate than was in the physical. That's beyond. But as long as you have that amulet, is that what you call tunnel vision of the relationship, in other words, a conditioned relationship between you and your mother, once you let go of that amulet as that defining reason for the, let's say, closure, once you let go of that, and it'll come back, and then you will start to experience a relationship beyond fathomable beliefs of what you're experiencing now. Are you guys following? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I think the amulet is one of those things where you get attached to an object, and it becomes a replacement of the relationship you have with that person. And there is a way to go beyond that, you know.
I think you're
and
right
that's
on.
what Mother is waiting for.
Yes,
right,
I think you're right on. I felt that sense of attachment as well, but she's in such an emotional distress about it that I didn't want to shake.
Well, I'll say this, you know, as a medium, and the thing is when you pick up a person who's passed on, it's always easier a lot of times for people who are outside of you to pick them up because there's not the emotional attachment, and the people who you're trying to tune into are always in a place of joy, and if you're sad, it's very hard to connect to them because they're not in a sad place. So for Karen, if she can, you know, and I say this with really sincerity, and I mean it in a very kind way, just, you know, if you can just for a moment find a way to be joyful, you'll start to get a lot more information about the things of where they are. But it's hard when you're, you know, when you're so sad, and it's that shift, it's that knowing, and no one can do that for you but you. And that sometimes takes, unfortunately, for, in this situation, time. And that's the whole being outside of time thing. But at this moment, you know, when you're in the middle of it, it's hard to see the forest for the trees kind of thing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I think this co-creative moment is an absolute, let's say, shift in reality for her, for healing and understanding, and then to be realized, the intimate relationship in a vibrational state, of course, not in physical, way beyond that, way beyond measuring words that we can actually equate to in 3D languages, that is waiting for her. So now that she can unshield that by understanding the relationship between her and her mother in the new fashion, instead of the perceived of the amulet as, oh, I'm indebted, I love you, and I need to hold on to this for dear life. Let go of that, and then you will experience way beyond your expectations. It's a beautiful moment for Karen. I'm very excited, and I know she's going to find it, and I know she's going to call back.
I don't feel like it's gone from her either. I think she'll find it.
Yeah, I think she'll find
I
it
also
very
think
soon.
she'll find it, and it'll
At
be
the
just it'll be a confirmation of her connectivity to her mom. This might also just be a nice way for her mom to reach out to her
Yes.
and show her
Yes.
that she's still around. Yeah. So, but we'll see what happens in the coming time, and I'm looking forward to getting her email. So Miss Roxy, tell us something amazing.
Okay, I'm going back to PBS's being in the slipstream. I
Yeah.
was on Google Circle talking in a nice little chat room a little while ago, and then poof, I looked at the computer and it says Philip Malika's online, and I said, oh, it's time for Karen's show.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking about it, but I was in the moment, and of course I don't need to think about anything outside of time, or outside of the now, in time, and then poof, it was there, and I was like, yay, and I got so excited. And look at this show. It is rocking. It is rocking. I'm so excited.
Just to tell the audience, Roxy was on the line before we started, and we just wanted to say a quick hi to her. And then we turned her on, and she was talking to someone else. And then she says, they don't, and she could hear us talking because she was hearing through her own computer us trying to talk to her. And she's like, they don't even know they're on the air. And then we got nervous. We're like, we're on the air.
Oh no!
And we weren't on the air.
It was so funny because I had no idea that you guys tuned me in, and I was like, "Oh, I'm the numbnut here." Okay, I'm sorry. That was funny.
It was funny.
And, I love it. Oh man, what a great show, guys! What a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Love you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Put me back on hold, and if I raise my hand, I'll have something else. But if not, keep on rocking the world.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, sweetie.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else on hold?
Love you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I love you too, Roxy. Sorry.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you so much.
Actually, I can see someone here that wants to say hello, so let's bring them on.
All
okay,
right.
269 area code 269.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Oh, hi.
Hello, Rob. How are you today?
It's the king.
Me and Kalina are both here, and we wanted to say hello.
Hi, Kalina. Hi, Rob. Hi.
Hi, Kalina.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
We wanted to say hello and tell you guys how great of a show it was, and we've been listening the whole time. And it's funny because the Karen who had lost the amulet, I was going to share an insight with that.
Oh, please
and
do.
Roxy kind of came in. Well,
Okay.
she came in and explained most of it. I just understand that sometimes when we lose things, they demanifest from our life because we place an attachment to them that is usually based on a negative energy of fear or worrying that you're going to lose something, and those negative emotions can demanifest it so that you can kind of refocus your energy on the more important aspects of what it means to you, the relationship in itself. And when you finally release that fear, you'll find that remanifest back in your life. So
beautiful.
Exactly. And that's, it's like letting it go, and then it will come back, It's just, sometimes it's about refocusing your energy. But we can all empathize with her and understand the idea of why it's so painful. So let's keep that in mind as well for everyone. It's not about saying no, of course,
Yeah, don't want to make light of anyone's feelings and ideas, because I have had that happen to me before with sentimental things for my son, sentimental things for my family too that have just disappeared. And when I refocused, I got them sometimes, and sometimes I never got them back. And when I didn't, the pain kept with me for a while. And when I released it, it was at a much later time, and it never remanifested, but the whole thing had taught me a lesson that I needed to learn. But you never can see something like that when you're in that moment of frustratedness or pain, because it's hard. We love people, and we attach a lot of energy of the loved ones to certain things. So I wanted to send my condolences to, and just tell her that keep a positive, upbeat attitude with it, and everything will work out as it needs to.
Exactly. And it's just like I said, it's like we've been all saying, it's just an opportunity for her to make a connection that's, hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh! I thought someone was saying ooh, like
I'm
something
here.
was going on. Oh, okay. No, but it's just.
You blipped for a second.
Oh, did I blip? I do that from time to time,
Yeah, you're good now.
I blip sometimes, but it's just an opportunity to make a different
She
kind
went out
of
for a
connection.
second. She was riding around on a really awesome spaceship somewhere.
I just left. I just took off. Yeah, but it's an opportunity to make a different kind of connection, as opposed to putting so much energy into an object. It's about making the connection and knowing that that person is with you all of the time, and having that connection as well. Yeah. Aw.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for sharing your insights, too. We love you guys very, very, very much, and we're enjoying the show very thoroughly.
Oh, well, thank you, Rob, and thank you, Kalina, and it's so exciting, and thank you, Rob, for making this network and giving us all the opportunity, and just so much appreciation, and yes, you can't say it enough
I'm glad you guys
in enough
joined
ways.
in, and the people who are in the network are most amazing people with the greatest insights, and I'm glad that you guys co-create this with us, and just you guys make everything from your own self as a co-creation. It's beautiful. I love being a part of it. Thank you guys.
Beautiful show.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
you guys.
Love you
Thank
too.
you so much. This
Thanks,
is just
Kalina.
for those of you tuning in, Rob Goff,
Oh, yes.
host of the Wednesday night show, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Kalina Angel, who just had her first show Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Earth Experience with Kalina Angel, and we're very pleased to have you both on. And the previous caller, Roxanne Swainhart, has the Saturday show, Odyssey of Ascension, at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. So pleased to have you all join us. Thanks. Love you guys so much.
Aw, thank
Love
you.
you guys too.
Thank you. And happy birthday to your sister, Kalina. It's her birthday, you said. So happy
Thank
birthday to
you.
her.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
You guys have
Man
a
on the
wonderful
moon
day.
ain't nothing compared to my sister born today.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, guys, for calling in.
Oh, thank you guys. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Just so you know, we're at about 9.5 minutes. We do
Right.
have a few more callers with questions.
Well, let's try to go through them quick because there's only.
Yeah,
We'll keep
okay,
everybody
good.
for a minute, but I don't think there's so many, and I'd like to say hi to everyone, especially
Sure.
today.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
this is the 704 area code. 704.
Hey guys, this is Jerika. I hope you guys
Jerika!
are doing well. I love the show.
Hello, Jerry.
Oh, hi! So glad you called in. How are you?
Well, I was hoping that I could get you to tap into my energy, but I understand that we are at a lack of
You know
time.
what? If you call
I've been
next
having a lot
week.
of anxiety here lately.
Oh. Why are you having anxiety? But I was going to say if you.
I was going to ask you. I have no idea. It's been really weird. It's been like a rush, and then I see a flash, and then I'm still here. It's like I feel like I'm dying for a second, but then I'm here, and I have no idea what's happening here lately. And it's just the past couple of weeks.
Well,
but
that's.
yes, I can call back next week.
That's always when you're having uncertainty, and I would say there's some uncertainty around some finances in your life, and those are. Can I say something? It's not as bad as what you think it is, but by focusing and believing that the other shoe is going to fall, it's like you're waiting for something to go wrong. You're creating it. So these little fear flashes are just warning signs to you that it's time to clean up your vibration, and it's time to start shifting your idea and stop sort of thinking, oh gosh, it's coming. Start letting that go and start, because I'll tell you, you create it with those fears, and those, that energy just pulls more and more and more and more, more to it. So this emotions and these little fear flashes are just warning signals to you that your vibration in that area needs to clean up. And if you don't want something to come, don't keep calling it.
And I was going to say also, allow the feelings to express.
Right.
Because when we push them down, they'll just keep coming back. And then you push it down, and then it comes back. if you allow it to express, it will quickly lead you to the core belief that is at the base of it. So again, this is a part of the process of us going through the shift, is anything that's a little wonky or a little wobbly in our vibration is going to come up and show itself to us.
Exactly.
Because it wants to be examined, it wants to be loved and allowed and accepted,
Right.
which then makes us the complete being, and then we can continue on with our shifting. So it's all, I don't look at it as something's wrong, look at it as an opportunity to examine core beliefs that may be just a little bit off, just like Karen was saying, a little bit off your vibration, but in allowing them to express, then they will have done their job, and once you get the message, then you have no need for them anymore, and then they're gone.
Good. That was so perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And if next week, Crystal and I will be both on, and if you want to call in, then we will definitely give you a nice reading. And hopefully by next week you can call and tell us how you've shifted everything and you're not having any kind of fears next week.
All right, right on. Thanks.
We'll look forward to it. Love you, Jerika.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're at 6 minutes. 2 more
Okay.
calls.
Yes.
Okay.
Quick, let's go.
Okay, 816 area code, 816.
Oh, this is Philip still.
Oh, Philip.
Don't mind me. I'm going to put you back on hold. We're
Bye.
One other call. We're glad you're still here.
Bye.
Hey, bye.
Bye.
All right, and we've got 303 area code, 303.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Who's this?
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
It's Randy.
Hi, Randy.
Hi. I'm
Hi.
Colorado.
Oh, nice.
And I just have a and I have a quick question. I scheduled a workshop in 4 days for a 4-day workshop.
Mhm.
And it was supposed to start this Tuesday. I get calls and then it's either too expensive for them or it's too many days. I'm not sure. Do you think I'm even going to have anybody?
Oh, you have a workshop for you that you're running.
I'm running the workshop.
And you don't have anybody signed up at the moment? Is that it?
No, and it's Tuesday. It's still. People could call the last minute, but I'm just wondering. I don't even know if I should even prepare.
Okay. Okay. All right. 1 second. Tell me the name of the workshop.
Called Fearless Life.
Fearless Life, and it's in where in Colorado?
It's in Louisville.
Okay.
Colorado.
Well, anybody listening that's in Louisville, they can look up your workshop. All right.
Thank you.
I just want to say something. To me, what's coming through to me is about the timing, that this is just not the right timing, and I'll tell you why. Because in the summer, there's just a lot of people that are away, and it's just not the most handy time for a lot of people. But if that is the case, which it feels to me that it is, it's just an opportunity for you to do it in a different time, in a bigger and better way. And to take this opportunity to expand the workshop and to let it, develop into something different. The timing for me feels like there's a lot of people that have interest, but they're just looking at it saying, you know what, right now I've got this and this and this and this to do. I've got the kids in their home.
That's because what I feel.
Well,
yeah.
So, but that's okay.
And I'm doing it I have to have courage and do it in 2. I could do this workshop as a full day, or I could do it in 2 days or 4 days. But right now, I'm just more comfortable doing it in 4 days. But I think that prevents people from coming because then, maybe one of the 4 days they can't come.
Right. That could have a lot to do with it. So it might just be a message to just re-examine it and maybe start with one, and you might get people who really enjoy that and then would be willing to do a longer one. So don't look at it as a negative once again. See it as an opportunity.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
see it as an opportunity.
You don't see anybody.
To make adjustments. Mm-hmm.
I think, it's not that I don't see anybody, but I don't see anybody, to be honest. But I don't want to create that for you. And that's why I was saying earlier that these kind of readings are about, it's more about you creating and you taking a more active role in creating it. And if you're not seeing reflected back to you what exactly that you want, it's about changing what you're putting out to bring it in.
Well,
but take all of it as a learning.
I got people from my last workshop.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what I'm putting out there this workshop that I put out.
But it doesn't have to be. The thing is it's you scheduled it at a certain time, and sometimes that's just not the most handy moment. I mean, things can just change with it.
It's not necessarily me who's putting out something negative. It's just
it's not about negativity. That's what I want to tell you, and it's always you. That's the point. It's always us. It's always what we're putting out. But we have to always look at that we're always putting out the best thing for us. So if something's not happening that we want, then there's always a reason, and that's the opportunity for growing.
90 seconds.
So what? That's what I don't understand. What did I do this last time that I didn't do this time?
Well, you made choices probably that didn't, How do I answer that question, Phil?
Because
can you help
me? You know why I did this? Because I told us. Okay. I did it for a reason because someone said I was going to have a workshop right after the other one, so I did purposely did it like 3 months, like 2 months in. But all right, thank you. Appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, call back.
Okay.
We'll have more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sorry I couldn't answer her question.
Okay.
Yeah, Kalina just said that she's not in her highest excitement, and I think it's a matter of if someone tells you you're going to do something, you need to do it because it's a motivation that you have as opposed to someone else telling you. And that's why, like I said earlier, I'm not crazy about doing these kind of readings because it's about asking someone else to tell you what's going on in your life. You are creating your own life.
You're at 20 seconds, my dear.
Okay, well, thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Next week I have Crystal Vandenacker. I love you all, and it's been a wonderful first show, and thank you for sharing this experience with me. This has been About Oneness. You can visit me on AboutONeness.com. Check out the Enlightenment Evolution Network on Enlightenment Evolution Network on Facebook.
Love to all.
Love to everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You want me to click off, or do you?
You click off. I'm going to call you on Skype. Are
Thank
we still on or not?
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Okay,
Goodbye.
but give me a few minutes because I got to use the restroom.
All right.
I'll be
Thank
right
you.
back.
All right,
okay.
bye.
Bye.